All right,
Larry.
so
Larry.
we have here against Larry Evan.
Larry Evans, well, this is a small story also because Larry Evans was one of the best American grandmasters and a good friend of Bobby. I mean, from time to time in some important tournaments, even the match from Reykjavik, Larry was there for 2-3 days like this, giving him some ideas, helping a little bit, but not really like a trainer or something. But I mean, like a good friend,
Was
hoping to.
the similar age or?
I think he was a little bit older than Bobby, but very, very good grandmaster, and a little bit too optimistic. We'll see in this game. I mean, he took too many chances. When you play a player, level from Spassky, you have to be
More
very
realistic.
careful. You have to be very careful. Here they played the King's Indian, a very sharp variation with Zemish. You remember, I played Zemish a lot also against very strong grandmasters. Zamish is a very good line for white, very dangerous. You have to react very, very well with black, to avoid many surprises, you see. So, okay, c6, bishop e3, a6, and here queen d2. This is probably the sharpest line for white. The alternative here is to play a4. I mean, a4, a5, and this another line. White castles
long
king side. No, king side. I mean, if he plays a4, after a5, he has to play first probably bishop d3. This is the main line. We have a lot of games, even my beauty prize against Savon, you remember, we show it already. But it's move by move also. The best line is to play bishop d3, knight g2, and castle. And afterwards, white is a little bit better all the time, and okay, complicated. But this is very sharp with queen d2. If you played with queen d2, you want to castle long side, you see, like in their game. You see. So, okay, b5. This was a specialty from the American grandmasters. Robert Byrne played also against myself twice like this. The first one, we showed also the game from Reykjavik from 86, which was very bad finally for black. But before that was a very interesting game that we had in Monte Carlo in 68, which was winning for white. And in the last moment in time trouble, I made some blunder, and finally it was a draw, But it's the same idea. We see how. So b5 until now is okay. So castle, and here black took in c4, and the next part of the game will be move by move. Instead of taking in c4, it's possible to play queen a5. That was my game with Robert. I mean, knight d7 and then queen a5. Very complicated. Again, better for white. So, all right. So he took castle, h4. Instead of castle was not so good. First of all, Instead of castle, the best move here is considered, even now, probably d5. I mean, therefore he takes in c4 to have the possibility to play d5. Next move. After d5, if white takes in d5, has very little, probably very little, if nothing, you say. The best move is to play the bishop b3 first. Bishop b3. He wants to push later on with d5 and f4, have some more space. But now black can take in e4, and if you take back with the pawn, knight g4, at least he has a hope to get rid of the black bishop. Even now, white is a little bit better with this simple move, knight f3. But if you play knight f3, now he has time at least to take the bishop from e3, which is very dangerous for black, you see. And afterwards, the game is complicated, a little bit better for white again, but without the black bishop, white has not so many attacking chances, like in their game, you will see. The difference will be very clear later on, you see. Okay. So here he took castle and h4. Now he wants to do the same, but it's different. It's very big difference. Now white, of course, comes back in b3. And when black takes in e4, the difference is now this move, h5. I mean, he's not forced to take back, you see. He gives another pawn and opens the line, h5. Now, what happens? I mean, he has to take, no? has to take. Now he takes there, takes. Yeah. Now again, it's very strong. Bishop h6. I mean, the material is not important. I mean, he gives every pawn, doesn't matter what, but only to open the game. You see. I mean, he wants to give mate in a few moves. Yeah? So first of all, here the position after knight h5 is completely lost for black. If he plays knight h5, after rook takes h5, g takes, queen g5, black can resign.
Queen g5?
No, knight h5. No, knight
Yes.
h5. Rook takes, g takes, queen g5, and resign. Mate.
Yeah, no defense.
So okay, no defense. All right.
So he took all the
He took in g2, and now white doesn't take in g2, because if he takes in g2, black can take in h6 and then king g7, and has one tempo. Maybe he can resist, maybe. But now rook h4, terrible, and after rook h4 again, black has a very bad position, So now what to do? Knight h5 is not possible. I told you before why. So knight g4, he wants to have a tempo, somehow. Now white has to take there. He takes, and now simply queen takes g2. Now he wants to give, if it's not possible, something else. He wants to give the rook from h4 for two pieces, and the attack continues.
Yeah.
And then probably black has already very bad position here, see? Because now everything comes with tempo. So Evans realized the position was bad, and he wants to somehow to try to, to defend, but it's much too late now. Every white piece is coming, and the attack is crashing, He wants to put the other rook in h1, and he has the possibility to triple, even if it's necessary, he can triple on the h line, much too much. So, okay, now f5 again, very simple, the rook back. Now, if black plays here knight e3, after queen g5, you resign.
After this?
Yeah, queen g5, finished. The attack is crashing.
Because it's the check here.
Yeah, and after rook h8, you lose at least a piece. I mean, he has time to take in e3 the knight.
Yes.
Terrible.
But how about rook here?
Well, if he plays rook there, I mean, then the knight is in...
Yeah, the knight is back.
Yeah. If you play there, the rook in h1, the other rook. Now you have to take. And if he takes, he takes back with the queen. Yeah, and what to do now?
It's going much faster.
Terrible, Completely winning. So queen d6. He played queen d6, no?
Yes.
Yeah. And now knight e5. Of course, the knight comes there. The knight comes, and he threatens the same thing, the rook to h1. Now it's finished. The position is completely winning for white. Yeah. So the rest of the game will be interesting only to see how quickly white can win such a position and how beautiful will be the last attack. So here everything is forced. After knight d7, knight e4, queen c7. And now look what happens. Rook there. Very simple also, but very beautiful. Now, of course, queen g8. He could resign here, but he plays until the end. So rook check. Now rook takes. And he takes. Well, now, of course, rook takes f5, wins immediately. But queen takes g6 is the most beautiful thing. Now, if he takes back in g6,
sorry,
rook h8 mate.
Sorry, what
rook takes f5, wins immediately.
Rook takes f5. Okay.
He wins a piece, and the attack continues.
Yeah.
But it's no mate anymore, immediately. After queen g6 is mate. So now you have to take there. And now look, the last move, rook f8 check. Now you have to take back only with the king, and queen takes g8 mate.
But why you didn't took the queen with the
rook h8 mate?
Rook here mate. Yeah.
Well, it's crashing. Every piece is coming. You see. So, you see the rook from a8 doesn't play at all. You see, until the end. So therefore, you can't have such a position where every piece is attacking you. Okay, very simple, but very, very beautiful. Now, after king d7, he can give mate in you know, with the bishop or with the queen. Even bishop e6 is made, you know. Terrible position. Well, very beautiful until then, but very simple, of course. Now it's no problem. But beautiful.
Very direct.
You can't give so many chances, you know, to a player like Spassky, of course. Well, every strong grandmaster would win such a position, but of course, Spassky was very happy to have such a position, no?
Yeah.
I mean, especially because he played so well the Zemish. I mean, he liked the Zemish.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful game. Yeah,
Okay.
one of the most beautiful games of the whole Olympiad in Varna. I remember because it was my first Olympic Games in '62.
Oh, you were there.
And I could see.
You see it in person.
I could see in person.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was Spassky very happy after the game?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he was very content to have such a beautiful game. Of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And Bobby actually played for the American team at the time?
He played, yes. There he played, he met Botvinnik. You remember that?
He played against
we
the
had
Botvinnik.
The story with Botvinnik.
Yes.
When he let escape Botvinnik and had the press conference afterwards, and he told them at the press conference that he was ready to play the world champion, giving him 2 points. 2 points, you know?
2 points advance.
And after 10 years, he did the same thing in Reykjavik, you remember?
With Boris.
With Boris. Yeah. The same thing.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
He didn't forget.
He didn't forget. Nice. All right. Thank you.
Right.